What is going on, everybody? If anybody can hear me, what's popping? What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? We are live, so people can give me a. I don't have the Don DeMarco, but right now we have a couple. We have a couple Sunday games because of the holiday schedule around the Black Friday, Friday night game on Amazon. The air if you have Prime Video. Between the Eagles and the Bears, Dallas Cowboys got outplayed the Kansas City Chiefs. Green Bay Packers continue the tradition of the Detroit Lions getting pimp slapped on a Thanksgiving night. And Baltimore Ravens sold with Lamar Jackson built like a $150. Like $1 and some change. He's that thin. Oh, Tyrod Taylor. Still 0-0. 130. I'm trying to share screen the scoreboard. And I guess it has something to do with the number of tabs I have available. Oh, okay. But how was everybody's Thanksgiving? How was it? Da-na-na-na. Do, 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 do. I was on YTC stream for the Survivor Series War Games show that we completely went off topic as soon as John Jay came over. '49ers, we have the privilege to face rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders in his second ever start with the Cleveland Browns. And Shedeur we trust. While Miami Dolphins are up 7-0 against the New Orleans Saints. While with still a budging wild card record of 4-7, trying to get themselves back into the contention race for a playoff spot. And a stop down behind the line of scrimmage. How the fuck you couldn't tell it was his own blitz is beyond me. When you're pushing your edge, and now you have 5 wide with a linebacker, and they get a stop on the field. Now they have to punt over their own end zone. While it's 7-7 in a good game, the Carolina Panthers have been exceeding expectation. Oh, but Bryce Young, over and out route, incomplete. Titans Jaguars 7-3 kick return after the Jaguars scored. Oh, we have a massive collision. Ball's recovered, and it's a forced fumble, and the Jaguars. Oh, no. Ball getting stripped in the middle. After an extra tackle while being downed on the field, they might reverse the play, and it will be a downed. He was already downed. Number 17 was already downed. Well, 49ers already lead 7-0. Brock Purdy. Ooh. First down. Some are born to fly. Kendrick Bourne with a one-handed hook grab, but he steps 1-2 instead of both feet touching. acquiring a football move. I think that's going to get it to be a complete pass. Buccaneers completely lost. They have fumbled over their last 2 straight, even though they played 2 good teams. But currently, folks, the NFC South is for the taking when it comes to the Carolina Panthers. But that might be an easy. But that might be back over the Tampa Bay to get themselves 2 games above 500 because they're facing the Cardinals. And if anybody's pick'ems is wrong, it wouldn't surprise me. CJ Stroud's back on the lineup after Davis Mills' starts over the last couple games kind of kept them a winning streak. After picking a monumental victory against the Baltimore Ravens, and nearly closing up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Jacoby Brissett throws it out. 3rd and 8 could be possibly a 3 and out with 14 minutes in the beginning of the second quarter. Back over. Tyler Shough rolls out. And Jawan Johnson barely a gain of 5 that you bring us back to the LA Rams versus the Carolina Panthers. Could be perennial league MVP. And it's a first down and a second down incomplete. It was a bunch of set over to a motion for their tight end, squeezed in between the down blocking linemen. Oh, one-handed grab, but 1 foot out of bounds. If that was a post, that should have been a first. If we stayed in this form, if we stayed in the original before the motion. Number 18 of the pan. Oh, mamma mia, it's picked off! Intercepted! Matthew Stafford gets took down, and it's picked off, intercepted. Mike Jackson Jr. Do you remember the time you got picked off? Number 2, Mike Jackson Jr. with a pick 6. Carolina Panther leads. Who saw that coming? MJ still doing his thing on the field, and I'm not talking about Michael fucking Jackson. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. So I forgot to put the background in MetLife. It makes more sense. Giants do play today. But I think it's Sunday Night Football. But Mike Jackson Jr. with a pick 6 with a up-and-coming Panthers team. Injury riddle still. Will Marks. Oh, no. And Marks is out with an injury for the Houston Texans. The story of the season for the Houston Texans has been injury riddles. Here comes MVP candidate Jonathan Taylor picking up at least a 12-yard gain for a first after 39. We're finally seeing a snap for Shedeur Sanders over the shotgun. Oh, and it's a first down. And Bond in the middle of getting grabbed, a floating ball gets under the right position for first while getting interrupted. It will be a first down for Cleveland. While it's back to Trevor Lawrence with time in the pocket, missiles it downfield for a second straight touchdown for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's going to push it 14-3. Touchdown by Brendan Strange. Not Doctor Strange. If Brendan Strange calls himself that, he's on Snap trying to impress a 30-year-old woman. But would you guys consider those Thanksgiving games would probably be the best games? Because it's been a long weekend of football, including if you guys watch college, with the defending national champions decimating Michigan 27-6. Buckeyes fans wiping their shoes on the Michigan seats while a punt team returns it back to Atlanta. Oh, and a loose ball with the kick returner in red zone position. Are you kidding me? New York Jets with a chance to score. What the fuck was that? And the pressure from returning team ends up backfiring. 2-point conversion, 0 for 3 now. Why go for it again if you guys are repeatedly failing off your PAT? And you guys have a notable kicker. QB sneak off Trevor Lawrence, and the officials are trying to see if it was on the line. I see one player, I think that must be one of the officials, to count that as a 2-point convert to now push this 15-3 Jacksonville, but there will be a flag on the play. After a fumble recovery, back over to New York, touchdown, Breece Hall, New York Jets get in for 6 after the kick team recovers after a slip off the kick returner. What you don't want to see is the Atlanta Falcons have been fucking fraudulent, bro. We could talk about Woody Johnson, but the amount of failure of coaches getting a failure to rebuild off your young quarterback. And now it's 14-7 after a pick 6 by MJ himself. The king of pop, Mike Jackson Jr. Of course, Stafford is the first. Oh, and a spin move. Woo! Those Guardian caps are pissing me off. Feels like I'm watching backyard football if you put the camera on broadcast. Quick RPO off the streak route. And Darren Waller, yes, Darren Waller, New York Giants legend Darren Waller, gets a first down. He's been actually playing pretty good for Miami. 34-yard reception over by Tua Tagovailoa. Hawk Tua. Yeah, I would say this has been a very questionable season because who you think is like the most... Oh, Kyron Williams breaks apart, gets for that line, breaks a tackle, first down. And Rams could be redeeming themselves over their possession off Corum. It wasn't Kyron Williams. Because Eagles, their title defense this regular season has not been the most appealing. But as soon as Eagles fans notice hardship on their team, they have to be the most privileged, underprivileged fan base in the NFL. You lose to an up-and-coming Chicago Bears team that actually looks like they have some upside. You guys get upset. Any adversity Eagles fans feel incomplete. While Baker Mayfield, knowing he has a rough shoulder, and still gets over finding Marquise Goodwin. Red zone presented for the Buccaneers is up high. Inside over for a handoff for Gator 2. Buccaneers might score the opener. And we're like around the second quarter. I mean, the Buccaneers have been trifling with injuries, but trying to rely on a mid-30-year-old Mike Evans to be your talisman would it show that you guys have legitimate talent at receiving core with Ibuka? And I'm not saying you can't always like revolve your offense around one top receiver because he will get hurt. And Tua trying to roll out. Like you got to find a key piece that can last. And his emotions right over the gun, trying to pull off the fade. Tua Tagovailoa rolls out. Nero around the red zone. It's out of play. Out of bounds. Riley Patterson, 4th and 6 for a 39-yard field goal to extend the lead to double digits. 10-0, New Orleans Saints trail. While alone in the gun, Bucky Irvin probably in a bunch of set. Butterfingers! Baker Mayfield trying to find one option. And it gets over the chest. Goodwin couldn't get it. Mamma mia. Chris Godwin gets one good gain, but then he couldn't even get the touchdown after? If I was Tampa, I'd continue the drive after one hiccup, but they'll go for the field goal, pushing it 3-0. Chris Godwin and fantasy havers got to be pissed off. Okay. Shador, oh my God, the offensive line. And Farrell gets a sack on Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders strategically moved out to get sacked. All part of the plan. While Cam Ward, just a bitch ass. Oh, rolls out. Too much time in the pocket. Couldn't find an option. Gets sacked by the Jaguars. And it's a gain. First down over the tight end by Parkinson's. Not the disease for the elderly. If anybody had fun watching Survivor Series for the War Games match stipulation, all power to you. The last thing, you learn from like doing content. At the end of the day, some people, this is entertainment. Oh! Incomplete. 2nd and 10. But by God, bro. It sucks when you have to know that AEW exceeds over making sometimes some match stipulations more interesting. And Bijan Robinson gains 25 plus carry. Motions right. Kirk Cousins off the gun. With time, but he gets ball sacked by Adams. While in red zone, slots it over to the tight end. That couldn't be Higbee. That's Allen for a gain of like 3. But they're near in red zone. But narrative-wise, anybody can tell me like anything that happens in a War Games match that you feel like you can book that would include some risk, for fuck's sake, bro. These PLEs with these fucking 4-match cards, while like you have in the New Day that turned heel. Touchdown, by the way, by the Rams. It really shows how creatively bankrupt WWE can be at times. They had to put the traditional Survivor Series tag team elimination match that has built so many memorable moments and make it a sideshow. And Devontae Adams with 1117 receiving touchdowns in his career, beyond Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez, Hall of Fame level tight ends, just behind Larry Fitzgerald with 121, with the season still ahead of him. Devontae Adams, anything is better than his time in New York, by the way. Anything is better. It's 3-0. Oh, and stopped over the line, behind the line of scrimmage, Jonathan Taylor by the Texans. Motions right again off single back. It was the play action off Daniel Jones off 1st and 10. He'll get it over the passing screen, down over at the 50. 40. Down with lead blockers ahead. Stuck behind like the 38-yard line. And I'm not saying this, did we ever have like a unanimous most improved player of the year? Honestly, did we ever have a unanimous most improved? He possibly won't win league MVP. Oh, it's caught. Over and in route. Because here's the thing. You barely see people like turn things around when they're outside of a terrible system like the New York Jets, where it looks like they never prioritize quarterback growth. They never have their own identifiable scheme. They're terrible at man management, and almost everybody that's worth a damn leaves in barely half a decade. Now you lose Quentin Williams. You might lose Breece Hall. You already lost Sauce Gardner. That was supposed to be a beckoning of y'all's defensive structure to be like the next Darrelle Revis. Now it's 10-0. Play action. Tua about to cannon over that streak, but the secondary sees that coming, picked off by McKinstry. Trying to find... Oh, nah. Jalen Waddle over the streak, and they push over that cover 2. How does Tua not see these reads coming? And it's picked off. Kingstreet ruins some momentum for Miami. Yet again, I swear to God, you see the Texans medical crew before you see the quarterback. Jalen Reed, strong safety. 22-year-old young man. Sadly with an injury. They lose Derek Stingley, bro. They're cooked. Texans with all the high expectations. They have the talent to be division leaders. But the injuries, setbacks, the poor play management, CJ Stroud's regression, that we can blame over injuries. Because we are so desperate to try to get legitimate all-pro talent that's consistent for a basis. And I can understand that frustration. All right, Brock. Let's go, Brock. Oh, and it's a gain. Gets over Kittle. And we stop short at the 40. Niners starting off good. We at least scored. And against Myles Garrett, that's our priority. Even though Shedeur Sanders has shown glimpses of getting some good reads out there. Oh man, I wanted to cop that new Shea Gilgeous-Alexander kick. I peeped the design; it looks awesome. My thing is the creativity, and I guess it's missing some design, some extra detail. They can put some engravements, some designing around the silhouette to have its own pop. If they don't add material, because the minimalistic tone fits. I like the silhouette; it looks unique. It's the same. It's getting the same praise like the Anthony Edwards sneakers. Oh, what a gain! Rico Dottle. But I feel like it's missing something. Hey, for the price tag, that's not bad for a hoop shoe. You love to see when a shoe is popping and it's also around your price range. I think anybody that has a decent 9 to 5 or a part-time job where they're getting paid beyond at least $15 an hour can afford a pair of SGAs or AEs. And I would say, for your sake, if you're a relative sneakerhead, wear whatever you want. But if you're around the age gap, I would say dress appropriately. Nobody wants this. You're not trying to get a girl's number and you're showing up with some KD on pearls on your feet, foam. Wear some shell toes. Wear some sambas. Look like you like going out. Look like you have a pair of dress shoes. Look like you have your own time and not your mom's time, folks. And try to get what you like. Still, we have yet a team to score yet. Rams trying to redeem their drive after their pick six. While still 3 Buccaneers after a drop catch off Chris Godwin, bro. Did not expect that. I called him Marquise Goodwin. Oh, God. Leave the memories alone. I'm shocked the Niner system is so efficient. We make the most washed receivers, the most statistically appropriate, if that's a nicer way of saying it. Like, look at Kendrick Bourne. How do you think we kept Deebo Samuels to be worth $50 million? No offense to Deebo Samuels. Okay, I need to refresh. Hold on. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. Oh, picked off by Bynum. Intercepts CJ Stroud. The frustration continues up in Houston. Fuck! Tampa Bay's back already in the red zone. Bro, I swear I blinked once. One refresh and Tampa Bay's already going to score. And Baker Mayfield finding... Ooh! Becca, while 4th and 1, Carolina... I missed a touchdown by the Rams. Over a toss. Gets it over the pitch, and it's going to be a first down. Over Rico Dottle, first down. Is Triple Hubbard still rotating back in the Carolina Panthers offense? Because Rico Dottle's resurgence over in this Carolina offense kind of made him a bit of an afterthought, hasn't it? Oh, the cut blocked him. The cut block over the... Oh, bro. Folks, from a lineman, Cut blocks are the worst things imaginable if you're a defensive lineman. You're getting underneath. And for run plays, that's missing extra men because they have to make sure they avoid. They got to avoid the cut. In touchdown, Indianapolis Colts off Alec Pierce. And that was after an interception by C.J. Stroud. Put that on your podcast, please. Thanksgiving's over, folks. So that means as soon as that hits Friday, you're hearing Mariah Carey in your local retailer for the rest of 2025. I'm not even saying the rest of Christmas. The rest of 2025, you're hearing that. And early 2026. Oh, what a gain. Big carry. Big toss up over by Bryce Young. And Chuba Hubbard with the gain. Off the reception. Pushing over the audible timeout. Tampa Bay could possibly go to double digits if they play the cards right. Because the Arizona Cardinals are the bottom of the NFC West. Especially knowing my worst nightmares come true with the Rams being the top of the division. That I do not want to see next week. But then we have a gimme game against the Browns. And I'm not going to lie. I bet Niners fans are not going to admit that we kind of overachieved. Over knowing that we were going to miss Brock Purdy for a majority of the season. And Mac Jones just waited to produce. And they're going to push it over the system quarterback position with our injury history. Like we lost Jawan Jennings for at least several weeks. Nick Bosa was out for several weeks. And they're still buffering. Like, I'm glad that we overachieved. I like my team getting over adversity when it comes to injuries and missing players. And we still get above 500, even though you would put that around our schedule, our strength of schedule. Hell, I bet Bears fans, you would hear a bitching Bears fan before they look at their win-loss record. And yet, Pittsburgh Steelers fans would be more content knowing they have a losing season than knowing how they can pull off a game and still beat a division rival. Yet they can't beat a team that are four games below 500. Like, explain that to me. Because NFL fan bases have different sorts of privilege. Even though it's been like over a decade and a half. 20 years. 30 years. Hell, be like the Bears and peak at 40 years. Drops back. Mayfield. And it's caught. In between three Cardinal defenders. Well, Miami is in the red zone. Faked over the play action. Continuing the throw. And Devon Achane. Devon! Barely get a first down. And Tampa Bay burned a timeout after getting in red zone. With 2 minutes remaining before we head to halftime. Mississippi Queen. Do you get what I need? Mississippi Queen. Back to those Jets Falcons highlights. Do you really want to watch that game for Bajan to just spam Bajan, poor quarterback play, and special teams fucking up? Really? Handoff off the draw play, and it's a gain of 4. At the 1 and second and goal of Bucky Irvin. On God, the amount of monetization you niggas need. And you know what's the craziest thing? It'd be these billion-dollar corporations that feel like they have competition. No one's watching the UFL. We do not need to compensate over for marketing. When NFL is like the biggest sport in the world. Next to like the fucking Premier League. Please. It's dangerous. Shimon. Touchdown. Bucky Irvin. Flag on the play. Hopefully that's on the defense because there's possibly some holding over the pull. And that's on the offense. Hee. Motions right over the down block and a fucking dumbass block. Oh, and the ball's incomplete by Tua Tagovailoa. I love how Philadelphia fans treat this like they have a 5-game losing streak and the division is slipping away because Dallas picked up like 2 straight wins against two teams. You love to see it. You love to see it. The delusion of the NFC East got to be studied. Oh, screen pass over the second and goal. And they'll get in by Rashid White. 4th and goal. And Miami Dolphins will push over a field goal, punching in a 28-yard field goal to push us 13-0. So later in the day, we got Pittsburgh Steelers versus Buffalo Bills. And pressures. Oh, ball sack. Hughes. $27 yards off penalties. Mamma mia, what a breakthrough off Marks. First down. It's that Woody Marks, right? I apologize. I probably have to go get a new tab for this thing. Commanders versus Broncos. Baker with time. Oh, but he'll trust it into the lineman. Touchdown for the big boys. Big back Tristan Wirfs. Touchdown, Buccaneers. boys, rise up. Fat. Scott, why did you say that? Fat. Shador, our Lord and Savior Shador Sanders. Somehow our secondary lets that happen. No shot. And the fucking Cleveland Browns score a touchdown. Shador Sanders, that has to be his first career touchdown of Holland Finneman. Glory to God. Glory to God. That's my son right there. That's my son. That's my son. Fuck happened? Maybe the simple read Shador Sanders is getting. Well, Finneman scores, ties the game up for Cleveland. Baby, all it takes is just prime time. Legacy, legendary. Oh, Kyron, and an awkward fall going over the shoulder, over the leg. And what a carry. Ransom gets the stop, but mamma mia. Short gain over near the red zone. Touchdown. Houston Texans. Nick Chubb. Touchdown Texans. Emphasis on the N with Nick Chubb. No, it's not racist. And a 2-point conversion to push us 8-7. 8-7. Back to those Jets Falcons highlights. To a 18-yard carry by Bijan Robinson. Taysom Hill. No, it's shook. And a flag was put on the play. Saints with an opportunity to get a drive going. Motions left over to the slot, back over to a second motion. Play action and fake. Plays off the street. Gain of 5. Quick track down on 2nd and 5 for the Saints of Topton. Oh, excuse me, princess. Woo. Okay. 17-14. 17-14. Carolina leads. While the Jets are trying their best not to be practice cones for Bijan Robinson's carries for this next game. Oh for 4 of third down conversions. 3rd and 4. Can continue their drive. They need to get a scoring. Kirk Cousins alone in the gun. Quick off the curl. It's a gain. First down. Kyle Pitts. Can't be getting up. Come on. Don't stop. Any of you guys know what you're getting for Christmas? Fuck! What a great Alec Pierce with a brilliant catch. Gets it mid-air with his fake 30, 40 vert. Oh, and it's caught? Okay, Marvin Harrison Jr. If you had an all-pro quarterback with a legitimate system in Arizona, Cardinals would be something to fear because Kyler Murray project has just not worked. And it's sadly for the better if they probably just transition away from Kyler Murray. Because a desperate system would want a quarterback that is just frankly immobile and that's it. Because I think Cardinals fans are just sick of the song and dance. Whereas, like, we're waiting for this guy not to be a personality problem, always making his off-field hobbies be the reason why we lose, why we don't see him on the field. And I'm not saying that to be a Debbie Downer. I think Cardinals fans would like a quarterback to just be available on the time. Second and 5. Hurry up offense, 30 seconds. Kirk Cousins. Yoshi. First down. And goal to Drake May. Well, Highland. Come on, baby. Ooh, incomplete. We need a picture of everything, dog. We need to add revenue to translate over to a live event. My nigga, I missed a field goal. NFL Network, what debt are you on, bro? Incomplete. Come on, boys. First and goal after a gain. And our kicking team is going to be off to close out with us getting the lead by 2. Anything is better than Ryan Moody. Anything. And I mean anything. 25-yard field goal down the upright. And it's good. Nearly. 10-8 before the half. We're heading to halftime. Niners with the lead again. While near the red zone, and Bijan Robinson stopped short. Just to see what's highlighted down below, just in case. Why is the screen so enlarged? What happens if I want to stop the stream? Oh no, it has in the bottom right corner. And we got Gay. Gay is better than Moody. Fuck it, I would have won a wash with Robbie Gold. I'll take Justin Tucker after he left the massage parlor. Sebastian Janikowski after the Confederacy War is better than fucking Ryan Moody. I swear to God. Oh, by the way, you guys heard about this Sacramento Kings fan. Oh, is that going to count for the... Finally, can the Falcons get over a counted touchdown? There's a Sacramento Kings fan, a former war veteran turned businessman. He's a season ticket holder. And he had some things to say after his defensive efforts in the second half. And it got a lot of traction. Because, you know, the Sacramento Kings still play like shit. After making the playoffs not that long ago, after a 16-year drought. And you know, NBA players are the most thin-skinned bitch niggas on the court. I'm sorry. If your millionaire tiers can't handle a bit of criticism from hard-working fans for courtside seats, by the way, courtside in this economy, and you can't be saying, hey, get your ass on defense. You boys should be playing better. You're not allowed to say that to an athlete. You're not allowed to. The fan doesn't want what's best for the team. When he's telling you to work hard, work harder. And that's where it's always some type of elitism or one-track mind you get from even NBA players. A season ticket holder that puts his finances and thinks that going to your games is a priority that he is willing to compromise to see his favorite team play should have something to say and not be banned from the premises. And I know being a ticket holder means that you're contracted to go over a behavioral structure. The same thing happens in WWE events. They'll ban you after you get into the ring or you see something out of pocket. I understand that. But I feel like a fan should heckle. A fan should be allowed to make fun of. Or a fan should be able to contemplate his concerns on the court if it's involving something in court. If he says that you're not trying hard, he should be allowed to say it. Unless he's coming into the fucking basketball court and he's bringing up your mom. Stop being a bitch, Zach LaVine. Go back on defense. That's why the Kings are the way it is. Soft ass bitches in the NBA, bro. Even Kenyon Martin's a soft ass bitch because he has to go over calling Draymond Green the softest enforcer in NBA history, knowing like he has succeeded more than like 90% of NBA players in the NBA. That you could be a DPOI, be top 75, while being a 4-time NBA champion, and trying to blame him all because he's not a 20 point scorer. means that he cost Steph Curry an NBA championship, this is why some of you guys are in the position that you are stuck in. That's why Kenyon Martin will always be a shout out and never a reference of success. That's why some of you guys will always be pickup players. That's why some of you guys never won an NBA championship. That's how simple-minded it is. No one can say that they can be like an enforcer on the team and be a 4-time NBA champion while having players on their rookie contract win championships after leaving Kevin Durant, DeMarcus Cousins, actually having an identity. And Draymond Green did that without Kevin Durant. Draymond Green won when they didn't even get their all-time regular season record. I don't like Draymond Green's play style. Not everybody wants to play like Draymond Green, but the way he enforces the Warriors to play, that's why he's more of a priority than Jordan Poole was after he got a max deal. And then he got sent to the gulag of NBA franchises. And then Kenyon Martin then talks about his play style like it matters, that he's a offensive player. That's not his responsibility. And this is back in the 2000s when none of you niggas could shoot. None of you niggas know what rotations were. Zone defense wasn't a conversation. And you guys were just getting pimp slapped by just pick and rolls and actual spot up shooters. It's depressing. Because then you talk about it and then you say you don't know ball. So I really need to know why Kenyon Martin is just getting Draymond Green, and you give these former players an echo chamber. That's the rise of concern because it doesn't feel like some of these players are ever being informational, constructive, or trying to teach people the game. These are players that play in the upper echelon of the biggest sport in America, and it never feels like they can ever have a constructive, welcoming opinion. When it comes to Kenyon Martin, when it comes to JJ Redick, when it comes to actually teaching players or coaches how to instill this type of system, how the rules can be abided in the modern era or make innovative play styles, you can never have that fucking conversation in the NBA. Even to know why Draymond Green is more valuable than even fucking Klay Thompson, it's depressing. Cam Little about to get this field goal off with 7 seconds remaining. Jacksonville leads 15-3. And I get this shit off now because we're about to head to halftime. And to know that's like Kenyon Martin at his peak, just a B-list Josh Smith with no jump shot. You were getting tossed around to just be that extra guy in the rotation. And then you talk shit to Draymond Green like he didn't beat Hall of Fame players like LeBron James almost every year. It tells me something. These are the same niggas that will always be like the basketball how it was in the 2000s. What, like now we have an NBA champion, almost a different NBA champion almost every year. The Thunder will probably break records that they possibly might not retain. Now everybody gets an opportunity. You guys are tolerant, and now I got to hear regrets of you niggas not playing up to your ability, and now I have to hear sob stories of why the Lakers were dynasties. It's depressing. Rolling out over to his left, going for a prayer. Just throw it out. Why are they pushing over for bootlegs off the gain instead of going for a spike and ending it off a fourth down? And now we're having a scuffle over at the sidelines in the Titans and Jaguars game. Yeah, let these JV kids get their shit off. I don't care. Oh. Confrontation, feeling like Buckeyes and Wolverines with two lottery teams. I'm joking. The Jaguars actually leading the AFC South. No, they're second. They're second behind the Colts. And we had a scuffle over involving the Jaguars player and a Titans player after a dead play cost. Whistle was blowing and there was still a fight. I would just say just expire the game. They might restart. Even though we should be heading to halftime right now. And I guess there's going to be some disqualifications put off because of this whole fight involving the Jaguars and the Titans. And Cam Little will be getting his field goal. To try to push it to an 18. So it's 21. The best game so far is Rams versus Carolina Panthers. Shedeur Sanders gets a touchdown, but it's 8-10 Niners, 16-0. New Orleans Saints still trail. They're scoreless, 10-6 after a Nick Chubb touchdown after they were held to 3 in the first quarter. Tied up 7-7 Jets against the Falcons. And Cam Little will probably push this to a 15-point lead. Down the uprights, it's good. I did not know Adidas did a SpongeBob collab. It's a shame that their movie's gonna suck, but I always wanted something that related to my favorite cartoons. I know if you guys know Oklahoma City Thunder's second best player on the team, I would say, is J-Dub, Jalen Williams. He has a James Harden sneaker inspired by, I think it's supposed to be Pinky and the Brain related. If you guys are around like late millennial Gen Z, early Gen Z, you probably know what Pinky and the Brain is. Or you possibly heard about Animaniacs. It's 18-3 after a Cam Little field goal. We are the Animaniacs. O-line sucks, so I'm going to get sacked. Oh, here comes the game. Off night. We're back to the second half. Buccaneers lead 10-3. The Animania, totally insane. I want to eat people. Animaniacs. That's all the facts. Right. Thank you guys on the support for. I saw the TikTok. I think we went near 1,000 views and a couple likes. I was gonna continue Fiona and Cake when they got more episodes, so we can do a live reaction. That would last a few hours. Oh god. Toss play. And I'll be out of bounds. Flag on the field. If the mods can ever hear me to refresh the chat, please do. Shador Sanders alone in the gun. He's been 1 for 2 in his third down conversion so far. Bunch is set over the gun. Could the rookie get something cooking again? Balls dropped over the collision. Incomplete. A 3-and-out again. Evolution is a mystery. Oh, yeah, that no one say. God knows that's taking me. Rainy weather, obviously, in Carolina, also on the East Coast for me, too. Evolution. Not the Pokemon. Evolution. Not the Pokemon. Evolution. Josh Allen getting set. 425 in windy Pittsburgh. The 7-4 Bills playoff against. It's inevitable. Even though the Steelers don't deserve to be above 500 because how fraudulent the AFC North has been, they're going to be above 500. And I'm not saying that out of pure heat. It's just the logic. Chubba Hubbard. Never run away. Single back formation. Carolina trails beyond the field goal. Over again. Second down. If they're pushing picture in picture, I'm just going to give some updates outside of the league. Kennedy. No, 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 no. Good way, it feels real loud. I just wanna know you're right. Oh God! If you want, I'll display my new hoop shoes in a few days, possibly. I heard the shipping will turn around. Usually it's around 7 to 10 days, but I'm part of a membership, so that's gonna be like under a week. Ooh, and it's a gain. McMillan, I feel like Xavier Leggett has taken a step up after a slow first half of the season for him. Remember, I think he only had like 2 touchdowns, been garbage time TDs, not having the most efficient start. Back over to the New York Jets, where they can actually play competitive football when they have a competent quarterback that can throw the fucking ball. Back to Tyrod. Incomplete. Never mind. Never mind. He's been 7 to 12 though. He's not with the passing TD. Probably off the defense. Here comes a handoff. Brock Purdy down the middle. Motions left. Sweep off the toss play. Use check. And it's going to be a gain of barely 4 over Christian McCaffrey. And I'm shocked. I never expected Christian McCaffrey to have this much of a media presence. Or is it just me? You see him in a buttload of commercials. Eddie Nketiah. Back to those Jets Falcons highlights. At their own 4. Oh, you're shitting me. Will the Vikings still look fraudulent? Possibly. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. 4th and 4. And a spread 5. Oh, but the secondary gives it touchdown. Carolina Panthers. And yes, it's Jalen Coker. Outstanding season for him. Usually a third down option, but he gets a good deep route when they're pushing cover 2, trying to get pressure to the quarterback, and the secondary couldn't stop him. Trying to grab him over the legs, but he already had like 3 steps to just make it to the end zone, guys. Outstanding work. Field goal. Down the uprights. It's good. 24-21. Carolina with a lead change again. This might be the back and forth we've been looking for. While we're back over Jacoby Brissett finding Marvin Wilson. First down. Felt his leg a little bit off an 18-yard gain. Quick slant. Great gain. See what happens when you see above your pocket? Kyler Murray has no idea what that means. He does carry on zombies, though, if you guys play zombies. $16-0. Still nothing going on in the first half. Big carry off the draw, barely a gain of 5. Beyond at least a gain of 7 off that carry. Motions left off the single back. Play action off Kirko. Big Kirko first down. Off Bijan Robinson. Spreads off the block. Breaks one defender. You should have cut more into the middle, Bijan, but an outstanding gain off the reception. Flag on the play. Hold on. They're not going to push that off the holding from the offensive lineman. Cousins gets grabbed around after the collision from the completion to Bijan Robinson. A bit of a sneak over by Stover for a carry. And it will be a gain for a first down for the Texans to make this a competitive one against the division-leading Indianapolis Colts. Brock Purdy, first down to Jawan Jennings. Let's get it, baby. Well, it's a handoff. Bijan over by... Oh, no, this... Aliger. Well, McGarry Ball spoken to the coach. Yeah, I respect the coach making this work. I feel like he's the person that they need for the Jets. But the personnel and the front office has to change when it comes to spot scouting. That I feel like that's always been holding them back. Oh, over the collision. Breaks over Bijan. And he stops short for third down. Or if you've ever been to an NFL stadium, it's third down. And you're going to be Brissett. Off the game back to the Buccaneers and Cardinals. Michael to first down. Big Kirk will be dripping. Oh, these girls be white. And that's nothing but green. Touchdown, Falcons. Bijan Robinson punches his ticket to get the lead changed here in MetLife. I'm so icy, baby. So icy. Ooh, these girls be watching. I'm so icy. So icy, baby. Oh, that's some fuck shit. Dalton Schultz with a gain. 2nd and 8 here for the rookie. Shook. Rolls out. On the 30-yard dash. Oh, first down. You guys actually think that a skills player might win league MVP? Ooh, overthrown to Marvin Harrison Jr. by Jacoby Brissett. And they'll take it down the upright. 43-yard field goal. It's good. Ryland will put us 3-13. Buccaneers still with the double digits. Oh, down the up. And it shanks. Wide right. Fuck! And hopefully we get some content going around this holiday break because late December I will be available. We'll probably be available for John Cena's final match. Probably not because that. No, wait, we can because that's a Saturday Night Main Event special. And WWE, for the love of God, these PLEs got to be a bit more matches, more guys. Nigga, you got 200 niggas on the car on your roster. Why am I seeing 4 matches and no storytelling? Because we know they're not going to make this overarching. Because that means I'm just going to watch Monday Night Raw, not SmackDown. Because we know the possibility of Seth freaking Rollins coming over to interrupt that match made no sense. Touchdown, finally, New Orleans. Oh my God, Chris Olave has been alive. He's not with an ACL tear. No offense to Chris Olave, but we know his track record of injuries has been vast. In a young career where he could make Pro Bowl. He could. His fade off the curl. And he cuts to take that corner. Easy route. Easy money touchdown. They should have got Shador. If you don't shut your bitch ass up. I'm so icy. Oh, it's heavy raining. I wonder how that's going to affect life. And that'll be a field goal put over for an extra point. Not for an extra point, but you get it. Oh, my word. Mamma mia. CJ Stroud. Yo. Adonai Mitchell. Touchdown. Yo. Over the deep ball, and Adonai Mitchell flanks the post. He gets over that shoulder. Corner drops over. Falls behind for the end zone. Touchdown. Tied game, New York Jets. What? 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 Honey, I'm leaving. What? Honey, I'm leaving. What? You get drunk too much. What? I'm sick of you hitting me. What? We might cut it off short here. Thanks for being a part of the stream. Sayonara, everybody.